Listen, I've met Tom Hanks a couple of times, and he was very kind and very lovely, and his wife was exceptionally lovely. But when he was on Saturday Night Live...
I hated it too, and I said it on my show. I know.
What?
I hated it. Wearing the MAGA hat, not shaking hands with a black person.
Right.
And that's when I thought, you people don't know MAGA people.
Nope.
I mean, they have their issues, and I certainly have my issues with them, but they're general. I mean, of course, there's some racists everywhere who are that bad, but generally, all the MAGA people I know have no problem shaking hands with the black person. You're just hysterical, and you're not helping. And
nope,
I agree.
Not at all.
That was not
deplorable squared.
Not helping.
Bill Maher just tossed a match into the gas-soaked backyard of woke Hollywood, and now it's an inferno. The sharp-tongued comic and late-night legend has had it with the smug, preachy virtue signaling coming out of Tinseltown. And he's swinging back, hard. His verbal haymaker aimed at Hollywood's sweetheart Tom Hanks makes one thing clear. No one's safe in Maher's war against woke groupthink. And guess what? I've got every jaw-dropping moment locked and loaded. First up, the clip that triggered Maher's fire. Then, prepare for his absolutely blistering takedown.
If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
oh, no. Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome in Black Jam at any time.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
Here's the play woke Hollywood tried slipping under the radar, painting Trump voters and MAGA supporters as backwards, racist cartoon characters. They dressed it up as comedy, slick, smug, and laced with elitist flair. And when people pushed back, the defense was always the same. Relax, it's just a joke. But here's what they ignore. Comedy has power. It shapes culture, reinforces biases, and spreads ideas faster than a headline. And when that joke always targets the same group, conservatives, it's not humor anymore. It's narrative warfare wearing a clown nose. And this very debate came roaring back on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast, where he took the gloves off and went straight for the hypocrisy.
You people don't know MAGA people.
Nope.
I mean, they have their issues, and I certainly have my issues with them, but they're general. I mean, of course, there's some racists everywhere who are that bad, but generally, all the MAGA people I know have no problem shaking hands with the black person. You're just hysterical, and you're not helping. And
nope,
I agree.
Not at all.
That was not
deplorable squared.
Not help.
That's the far left's formula. Twist facts, vilify opposition, and bulldoze anyone who gets in the way with zero remorse. Trump's been their favorite punching bag for years. Now they're taking aim at J.D. Vance. And guess what? Tom Hanks is marching in step. Some say he's just an actor reading lines. But come on, Hanks isn't some rookie clinging to a role. He's a Hollywood powerhouse who could reject a script with a single raised eyebrow. But he didn't. He signed off on it. And that silence? That's a choice. One that speaks louder than the script he followed.
But I'm telling you, as a liberal, I don't like it. Again, because lying offends me. I'm a comedian. When the premise isn't real, the joke is not going to work. The premise has to ring true. That premise doesn't ring true. It might have rang true, I don't know, X years ago. It doesn't now. So, but that's where we are. Everybody has to just play the hate card, because that's what gets clicks. That's what gets you loved by your side.
Right, your side, 100%. And there's safety there.
They just want to feel that, oh yeah, that's right. He's
Let's not sugarcoat it. The left has turned Trump bashing into an Olympic event. They've trained for it, perfected it. Remember Trump's court trial? MSNBC treated it like the Super Bowl of outrage. Wall-to-wall coverage. Cameras trailing him from elevator to courtroom like he was walking a red carpet. That wasn't news. That was performance art. They thought if they fed the public enough Trump drama, voters would obediently flip blue. But guess what? America didn't fall for it. If anything, it exposed just how out of touch the media elites really are with what regular folks actually care about.
It reminded me of an abuser who goes back to a woman and puts on the mask. I'm charming. I'm totally loving. I will never hurt you. You can trust me. I get you. We're together. We're a partnership. But then as soon as the woman does something, could be anything, to set him off, the veil comes down and you realize this has been someone pretending. This whole thing that's been wooing me in has been an act. And oh my God, I was almost fooled. Thank God I saw the moment of reality. That's what that thing was to me, because Saturday Night Live hates conservatives.
Megyn Kelly nailed it. Tom Hanks doesn't just play characters on screen. Turns out he's been playing one off screen too. For years, we saw him as America's wholesome, everyman hero. But now the mask's off, the contempt's visible, and it's not subtle anymore. As for the networks pushing this narrative, let's not pretend they're objective. They've made it crystal clear. They're pushing division, not dialogue. And while we're used to that from cable news, Hanks hit different. Because we expected better. He was the guy we thought stood above the noise. Turns out, he's just another echo in the progressive chorus.
The veil was down and we saw what they really think of all of us. Not just MAGA, but anybody on the right. They think you're a racist. They think you're all the ists for all sorts of psychological reasons that we've gone into and don't need to here. But there was that piece of it. And then there was how deeply offensive it was for Tom Hanks in particular to participate in this skit. Tom Hanks, who started off on this stupid show called Bosom Buddies, which maybe it was ahead of its time because it was about two men who dressed as women in order to get the living arrangements they wanted. So it was guys dressed, sort of in drag. And he was hilarious and he was a nobody. And it was a stupid show that made us fall in love with him because he was so funny.
That's the playbook of the woke mob. Flood you with outrage, hijack your brain, and dump you into a fantasy world where dissent is a crime. One day you're thinking critically. The next you're parroting slogans and hating strangers because it's trending. Groupthink doesn't just change your opinions, it rewires your identity. And if you slip up, they'll toss you aside like yesterday's meme. Look around, Whoopi Goldberg constantly on the cancellation chopping block. Sunny Hostin alienating half her audience every week. Even Drew Barrymore, once beloved, is now a walking PR disaster. The woke mob loves you until you break script. Then it's exile time. And the trap just keeps catching new victims.
In thanks to a nation, of audiences that included those guys who look like that, with the t-shirt, without the sleeves, that are maybe a little rough around the edges, who aren't as coiffed as he is with the perfect 3/4 zip, sweater, with their MAGA hat on. And yeah, Tom Hanks, their southern rural accent, you absolute effing snob, went to your movies and made you a billionaire. And your thanks to them is to mock and belittle them in the 2 minutes you had to portray what they might be like. Shame on you.
Tom Hanks let a lot of fans down. This wasn't just another acting gig. It was a political hit wrapped in faux humor. And it stung. Because Hanks wasn't just a beloved actor. He was a symbol of decency, a rare Hollywood figure who seemed above the culture war mess. But now he's knee-deep in it, mocking a movement that millions of Americans deeply connect with. This isn't about being overly sensitive. It's about basic respect. No one's calling for cancellation. That's not the goal. But accountability? You bet. We saw it. And we're not just brushing it off.
Except, this is the big problem with that joke. President Trump assembled the largest coalition of black voters and Hispanic voters and just kind of racially diverse voters generally that any Republican has assembled in decades. Certainly in my lifetime. So that's the problem with the joke. It's not reflecting reality. And it's just so tired. The thing I really like about this sketch is it shows that Hollywood has learned nothing. I know that SNL is taped in New York, but the broader entertainment industry has learned absolutely nothing.
The truth the media doesn't want to admit? Trump supporters come from everywhere, every background, every income level, every walk of life. blue-collar workers, suburban families, Hispanic voters, small business owners. The GOP has evolved. Meanwhile, the DNC is stuck on repeat, clinging to outdated stereotypes and pushing a message rooted in moral superiority and identity politics. The country isn't buying it anymore. People want solutions, not lectures. They want opportunity, not shame. And while Republicans may have their flaws, at least they're talking to the people. The Democrats? They're still yelling into their echo chamber and wondering why no one's listening.
They think, wow, we just got our clocks cleaned. We lost an historic proportion of black voters, black male voters that we relied on, and Hispanic voters. We thought we could run really hard on the immigration issue, but it turns out almost half of Hispanics like Trump. We even lost a lot of young women under 30. Yikes. All right, let's just double down on exactly what we were doing. Republicans are racists. Actually, first we're going to make fun of Republicans being religious. We're going to make fun of Christians. That'll work. And then we're going to call our opponents racists. Because apparently the majority of Americans, including a lot of black and Hispanic people, are racists. Yeah, that's the ticket.
The Democratic Party is on the verge of collapse. And honestly, it's not shocking. History shows us that any party, no matter how powerful, can crumble when it drifts too far from the people it claims to represent. We've seen it before, right here in America and all around the world. And now the DNC is teetering on that same edge. The only ones who can save it? Actual Democrats. And it starts with one tough truth. They've got to break up with the radical woke fringe. Because as long as the DNC keeps prioritizing activists over workers and ideology over reality, they'll keep bleeding voters. If they want to survive, they need to get grounded, ditch the elitist playbook, and start treating common sense like a virtue instead of a threat.